This is Egypt's #1 for hit music, 104.2 NILE FM. Now, NILE FM's Aware with Adham.
Welcome one and all to the show. With me in the studio this time around, a very special guest, Dina from the organization Injazz. We're going to be talking a whole bunch specifically about entrepreneurship. Trust me, you don't want to miss this.
Egypt's #1 for hit music, 104.2 NILE FM. Cairo, NILE FM's Aware.
Welcome one and all to the show. It is again NILE FM'S AWARE. Adham here with you, and with me today is a very special guest, Dina from an organization called Injazz. First of all, Dina, welcome on the show.
Thank you, Adham. It's a pleasure to be here.
Pleasure is all here because I know a little bit about your organization, and I mentioned earlier it's predominantly about entrepreneurship, but I don't want to limit it to entrepreneurship because I know you guys have a lot more to offer than that. But I guess my first question to start off, why did Injazz start as an organization altogether, especially here in Egypt?
Okay, so let me just give you a bit of a background here. As you know, and as we all know, there's many challenges that face the education system here in Egypt. And one of these challenges is that there's a skills gap. There you have young people graduating from schools and universities who are frustrated that they can't find the right job. And on the other hand of the spectrum, you have private sector companies who are also frustrated that they can't find anyone to hire with the right skills. So this is where Injazz comes in, to bridge that gap. So this is what we do in a nutshell, is that we're bridging that skills gap through working with schools and universities.
I love that, but I mean, what exactly is your framework of doing that? Because there's so many organizations that are doing, they say, well, we deliver soft skills. Yeah. But, I mean, is that what you do, or do you follow a different platform?
Okay, so basically, we have a partnership with the Ministry of Education. We have a great partnership with over 25 companies from the private sector who provide us with the mentors and volunteers from their staff. We also have the great opportunity of using the latest programs on entrepreneurship, work readiness skills, and financial literacy that are global, and we adapt them to suit the Egyptian cultural context.
What I want to know is, how do you put all of these resources into a framework on the ground? What do you guys do exactly in the nuts and bolts of it, so to speak?
Okay, so to take you through it, first off, I just want to make clear that all of us dream and aspire to see an empowered Egyptian generation. This is a dream every one of us as an Egyptian aspires to see in the years to come.
Amen
and
to that.
So the only way we're all going to do it collectively is by really going down to the ground, down to the public schools in Egypt, and giving from our time and our effort to basically give back from our knowledge and our experiences to those students. And so what we have are a small army of volunteers and mentors who are so passionate and dedicated and wanting to give back to this country and wanting to give back, more importantly, to its young generation. And how they go about doing that is that we're spread over 22 governorates, but specifically with people who can't go out to the governorates. We have a large presence here in Cairo where people give an hour of their time a day for a duration of, let's say, 6 weeks to go and inspire a classroom of students through our programs.
And is it just in the form of inspiration, or do they kind of get involved in the mentorship of individuals or projects that might be emerging?
Okay, so how it works is that anyone who is interested in volunteering or mentoring, we basically give them a training and we give them the program material, basically. And we take them through it where they're ready to go, and they dedicate an hour of their time a week to go down and teach a classroom of students on the program that they're given, whether it be an entrepreneurial program, a financial literacy program, or a work readiness program that builds on the students' characters and willpower.
What other projects do you as Injazz have going on right now?
Yeah, so what I'd love to talk to you about is an upcoming competition that we're holding called Startup Egypt. And what that is, we're giving 22 young startups the opportunity to acquire seed funding and to help them actually register their company. As we all know, there's a very, because of the current economic situation, a lot of young people graduate and cannot find jobs. And so there's a paradigm shift here that we want to create of self-employment opportunities through entrepreneurship and encourage that culture of entrepreneurship. And so how we do it is that young people apply to us with their ideas of creative products and services, and we help them in a 6 to 9 month period to actually set up a company. And at the end of that, they join our competition. And in that competition, we have a trade fair, they pitch to investors, and at the end, there's an award ceremony where at least half of those teams get a seed fund to start up their own business.
I love it. I mean, the concept of changing from why look for a job when you can create your own job. That's very, very cool. And especially they're not only creating jobs for themselves, but also their companies will blossom and then create more jobs for the community at large. So I think that's a really, really, really cool idea. I don't want to sound like an ignorant fool here, but what exactly is seed funding?
Okay, that's a great question. So basically, for a company to survive, right, and it's starting up, they need money, right?
Yeah.
So the seed fund is a small amount of funding that they receive at the award ceremony of this competition that'll get them to start up their business.
So it's basically giving them the capital, the starting capital.
Exactly.
That they need to
It's like a catalyst for them to get started.
I see. And is this the first time that you guys are setting up this competition, or have you done it before? Or?
We've been running it since 2007, and we've had so many brilliant entrepreneurial alumni that we actually started thinking, because we saw so many of our alums starting up their own businesses and getting so inspired by entrepreneurship that starting 2011, we started offering the opportunity to gain a financial contribution through a seed fund at the award ceremony. So instead of giving out trophies and medals, now we're offering it to be a tangible startup to their companies.
You guys are taking the whole concept of give a man a fish, feed him for a day, teach him how to fish, feed him every day to a whole new level. This is very, very exciting stuff.
Exactly, yes.
When exactly is this competition taking place, and is there still an opportunity for people to submit ideas, or would they have to join the next cycle?
Okay, so this competition is happening on May 9th, and I mean, it's always such an inspiring competition, and we always hope that it inspires others to apply right after it with their ideas of product, services, any entrepreneurial business that they have in mind, and we hope to have them in the next round.
If I am a person that has an idea and I want to apply for the competition, if I'm a mentor that I really like the idea and I'm like, I'd like to contribute some of my time to this, how do I get in touch with you guys?
Yeah, you can get in touch on our website, Injazz-Egypt.org, or on our Facebook page, Injazz Egypt.
And I actually have to interrupt you 1 second. How do you spell Injazz?
Injaz.
Injaz. So that's www.injazzegypt.org.
Injazz-Egypt.org.
Thank you. There you go. There you go. All right. So that's how you get in touch. Injazz-Egypt.org, or your Facebook page. One more time.
Which is Injazz Egypt.
Without the dash this time.
Without the dash.
Sounds
exactly.
Perfect. Sounds perfect. Dina, I can't thank you enough for taking the time. I know you're a very, very busy woman. Thank you for coming in and speaking with us, and thank you for the efforts that you guys are putting into this.
No, thank you for having us here. And really, at the end of the day, it's with us all giving our collective effort to really inspire and empower this next generation is how we're gonna bring back Egypt and let it rise once again.
I just couldn't agree with you more. And in actually light of that, as I always mention, if you are trying to do exactly that, empower a new generation, give back to the community through a social development initiative or an NGO, please send me an email. Let me know a little bit about what your organization or initiative is doing, and I would love to have you right here on the show. Just send me a quick email. Tell me a little bit about what you're doing at aware@nileradioproductions.net. Again, that's aware@nileradioproductions.net, and I would love to have you right here on the show. Unfortunately, though, that's all the time we have for this Saturday. We'll catch you next Saturday, same time, same place, 4 p.m. for another edition of NileFM's Aware. Until then, have a great evening.